Russia's deadly attack on a Ukrainian maternity hospital is drawing international condemnation. AP Washington correspondent Sagar Meghani reports.
Ukrainian and Western officials call it a war crime.
I'm afraid that we should expect more of the same.
Retired Lieutenant General Douglas Lute, a former U.S. ambassador to NATO, says a frustrated Russian military will get more brutal.
They won't show any propensity to discriminate between military targets and civilian targets.
While on the ground, the war will look like something out of the Middle Ages, with Russian forces laying siege to cities while Ukrainians hold them off.
With extraordinary misery, very brutal tactics.
Lute says history shows Ukraine can beat a more powerful enemy.
Because willpower can beat firepower.
Sagar Meghani, Washington.
The Biden administration says 2 North Korean missile launches in recent weeks were in fact test firings of a new long-range intercontinental ballistic missile, or ICBM. The tests involved a missile reportedly larger than an ICBM North Korea launched in 2017 that was assessed to be capable of reaching the United States. The White House warned on Thursday that a full-range test could soon follow. U.S. missile defense and reconnaissance forces in the Pacific have been placed in a state of enhanced readiness in preparation for a full-range test. That's according to a senior administration official who outlined the U.S. intelligence assessment on the condition of anonymity. And the U.S. TSA has announced that Americans will continue wearing masks on airplanes, airports, buses, and trains for another month. In an unusual hearing on Thursday, a U.S. bankruptcy court in White Plains, New York, allowed victims of the U.S. opioid crisis to virtually confront members of the Sackler family, owners of Purdue Pharma, maker of the OxyContin painkiller that fueled that crisis. The emotional 2-hour court hearing stemmed from a $6 billion settlement reached last week among the Sacklers and state attorneys general that could resolve claims over the family's role in the crisis without taking them to trial. The U.S. bankruptcy judge Robert Drain established the emotional virtual hearing after giving initial approval to the settlement Wednesday. 26 speakers came from 19 different U.S. states. They were chosen by the official committee that represents creditors in Purdue's bankruptcy, including thousands of people who filed personal injury claims against Purdue Pharma. Drain said the Sacklers and others would not be given a chance to respond to the victims' statements. Pakistan's military said Thursday that what it identified as an unarmed supersonic missile from India struck Pakistani territory, damaging civilian property but causing no casualties. A spokesman for the Pakistani army said Pakistan strongly protests what it terms a flagrant violation. He called the act provocative and demanded that India explain the launch of a missile that ended up 124 kilometers inside Pakistan in the eastern border province of Punjab. There was no immediate response from India. Pakistan and India have fought each other in 3 wars since gaining independence from British rule in 1947. The long-running territorial dispute over the divided Kashmir region remains the primary source of tension between the 2 nuclear-armed South Asian neighbors. Both claim the Himalayan territory in its entirety. Taiwan's intelligence service confirmed Thursday that a Chinese military aircraft crashed in the South China Sea in early March before the area was sealed off for a search and rescue mission. News of the crash was first reported on Twitter on March 6th by a Vietnamese journalist who cited unnamed sources. The crash allegedly involved a Chinese Y-8 maritime patrol aircraft and occurred off the coast of Hainan Island. On Thursday, the director of Taiwan's National Security Bureau confirmed the crash in a government report. Beijing has yet to comment on the crash. And players have voted to accept Major League Baseball's latest offer for a new labor deal, paving the way to end a 99-day lockout and salvage the 162-game regular season.
Hi, thank you for watching. I hope the videos are useful for you. Please subscribe to my channel using the button below.